Victor Wembanyama just made history. In the midst of one of the great modern rookie seasons, he had one of his signature performances, becoming the youngest center to ever notch a triple-double and the second youngest player to ever have 10 blocks in a single game. But Wemby wasn't some slouch offensively, dropping 27 points on just 4 missed shots with 5 assists. With the level he's been playing at for the last 2 months, he is starting to enter some rare rookie conversations. So how did he dominate this game against the Raptors specifically? And how did it show off the unprecedented skill set that has made him maybe the best rookie this century? It starts on the defensive end of the floor. The Raptors produced an offensive rating of 79 with Wemby on the court. Teams were more efficient offensively against the 60 Celtics. That is largely because he eats up space like nobody else in the league. Normally in a drop coverage, a big man is forced to choose to some extent whether he wants to concede a floater to the ball handler or a lob to the roller. But Wemby is so obscenely long that he can both take away the floater with his length and still recover to eradicate the roller. He is also constantly affecting passes that would normally be routine. Scottie can't get this pass out cleanly to Poeltl. He affects this entry pass, and his presence certainly contributes to Scottie's decision to shoot the turnaround instead of maybe testing Wemby at the rim. Wemby made so many obscene plays saving baskets at the rim in this game. He's trailing this play in transition, and look at where he is when Ochai catches this ball. Doesn't matter, he flies in to block it. Scottie slips the screen here, so Wemby is again trailing the play, and this is an open dunk against maybe every single other player in the league, but Wemby somehow blocks it. He was outside the paint when Scottie caught this ball. So because it feels like Wemby can alter any pass or shot attempt, and he leads the league by far with over 4.3 combined steals and blocks per game, his impact as a deterrent is nearly unmatched. Players often don't even look at the rim on drives and settle for kickouts to mediocre shooters that basically just reset the offense rather than test him. And it turns out he can play both a driver and a man in the dunker spot pretty damn well if you try to go to that guy. On the year, Wemby has held opposing players nearly 11% below their typical field goal percentage at the rim, a number that puts him on par with the league's best veteran rim protectors. The deterrent effect applies in transition too, where Wemby is extremely quick getting down the floor for a big. This is a clear 2-on-1, but Grady Dick won't try the pass here because Wemby is so long. So he tries to go around him, which buys the Spurs defense time to get down the floor, and Wemby gets a hand on this pass anyways. I fear Wemby was deep inside poor Grady's mind because this is an inexplicable play. He has a clear path to the basket and takes a scoop layup from 10 feet out. If Wemby isn't out there, I can't imagine any world in which he'd do that, and unfortunately things get sadder from there. And while his impact is greatest as this monstrous help defender, Wemby had some really nice moments guarding in single coverage, especially on the veteran Jakob Poeltl, who has nearly 40 pounds on him. Even though he bites on the fake spin a little here, Wemby's 8-foot wingspan allows him to quickly challenge the fadeaway, so Poeltl has to go with the step through to the left, which Wemby stuffs as though he were a child. Concerns about Wemby's frame in relation to his defense just don't matter to me. His height and length are so special that they can often make up for a strength deficit, and he will add strength. But as a rookie, he's already been excellent at the 5. He guarded well in space too. I guess Scottie thinks he can attack Wemby here, but doesn't get a step, tries to get him to bite on this fake, and then throws up a prayer. And that's what this is in the paint against Wemby, and he gets blocked twice. IQ won't test him attacking downhill, but also won't take his signature floater because Wemby can affect that. So he tries to pull him out, but Wemby gets a strip with those crazy active hands of his. No matter the scenario, the success rate of a Raptor attacking Wemby was very low, and like he's done all year, he completely changed the game defensively when he was on the floor. Wemby has improved the Spurs defense by 10 points per 100 possessions when he plays this year. That's a 98th percentile on-off number as a rookie. When Wemby sits, the Spurs are a historically awful defense, and when he plays, they're a very solid one. So while the defense stands out first, Wemby did some stupid stuff on offense too. He is a 7'4" rookie running inverted pick and roll with his point guard, who splits the defenders with a lefty live dribble pass here. Keep in mind this man has shot 43% on nearly 2 pull-up threes per game this year, so he can see over any defense as a passer if you hedge and shoot over you if you don't. and this could be a game-breaking action in the future. He obviously has a long ways to go in terms of refining things here and has turned the ball over a lot in those actions, but he's already scoring with 60th percentile efficiency as a pick-and-roll ball handler, and the potential there is terrifying. His playmaking popped in this game. This is a wild possession where he loses the handle, but the Euro into no-look dime is ridiculous. Another broken play here after a smart cut by Wemby and a great play at the rim by Pirtle, and he fires a no-look bounce pass. That sort of floor vision and improvisation is just absurd on top of everything else he already has. But it can look simple too. Bring a second defender on a face-up, and he wisely dots up the cutter. But when he was left one-on-one on these face-ups, Wemby showed how his unmatched length allows him to score on drives like no one else could. He hardly gets a step here driving into traffic, but extends so far that he gets a clean look off. This is a very similar drive. Jab step, then he attacks the inside foot and still drives into traffic, but holy mother of God, nobody else on the planet literally could dunk this ball. And along with his length, his agility is an outlier skill set. And in this game, as he does better than any big in the league, he did a really good job beating his counterpart down the floor for transition buckets. And you want to talk about ridiculous finishing, this is not a good lob. Look at where Wemby catches it and somehow finishes this as a reverse. The body control, the length, the focus, it's just alien stuff. You really can throw the ball up anywhere around the rim with Wemby. Wemby had some bloopers on offense in this game with 7 turnovers. His handle could be too loose, especially in traffic, and he tried a couple overly ambitious passes. And although this was a rougher game than usual on that front, that's to be expected when you're 7'4", 20 years old, and attempting the stuff that he does. He is going to get sharper there, and as he does, his ceiling becomes all the more monstrous. And although this performance was historic and filled with several highlights that seem impossible, Wemby's been making this stuff look routine. I made a video a month ago that went into more detail on all the key areas that led to Wemby's monstrous midseason leap, and now that's just who he is. An all-league level defender who's found his outside shot, gotten more decisive, tapped into his playmaking more, improved as a rebounder, grown more aggressive attacking the rim, and turned into a high-volume scorer on plus efficiency despite really rough circumstances offensively. 3 months ago, he wasn't playing like the best rookie in his own class. But I think the Wemby we've seen since he moved to center is the best rookie this century. Just look at his production over those 29 games. That's a big sample now, since December 8th. And keep in mind, that's in just 27 minutes a night, and this is what he's doing per 75 possessions. Compare those numbers to any of the great rookies of this century, both adjusting for the increased pace in today's game and comparing each player's efficiency to league average their respective season because it's gone up so much league-wide, and Wemby's scoring production and efficiency pop as an outlier. But even conceding that guys like Luka and LeBron were clearly more immediately ready to dictate team offense with their playmaking skill and driving ability from the perimeter, although both struggled considerably with efficiency and jump shooting, as most rookies do, does that outweigh the fact that Wemby is lapping the field defensively while still producing like a star offensively with rare efficiency for a rookie? I don't think so. Because of his unmatched physical tools and great instincts at the most important defensive position, he can dominate that side of the ball, whereas a vast majority of rookies struggle. We haven't seen two-way impact like this from a rookie all century. He has real potential to be the greatest defender ever. I get that the Spurs suck, but let's keep in mind none of the other rookies teams who I mentioned won more than 35 games or sniffed the playoffs, and none of those players improved their teams by more when they were on the floor compared to off it than Wemby has. He makes them way better, but just like every other rookie of the last 2 decades, he can't single-handedly save a shit show. The Spurs are dead last in three-point percentage, and one of the few teams in the league lacking a semblance of a lead guard and pick-and-roll creator, and without Wemby, they're lost defensively. Of course they suck. When he is scoring at high volume, efficiently, playmaking well beyond his years, and dominating defensively and on the glass, I promise you, the issues are not about him. He still has so much room to grow. Every rookie comes into the league with a bunch to figure out, and he's very much included in that. But when you come into the league capable of physically doing things no one else can, as maybe the greatest physical outlier since Wilt, you can have an impact no rookie has in a long time.